we feel like we can play that game. We try not to play that game much, but we feel like we have a guy that we can play that game with in Jalen. And so, just like we have to try to figure out different ways to guard Harden and Mitchell, they got to figure out different ways to guard Jalen. But there's no secret we were attacking Harden.
Okay. No secret we were attacking Harden. Smalls, you referenced it initially here. Why? Why did that jump out to you more than anything else here?
Because it was obvious what they were doing, but usually a coach wouldn't say that in a post-game presser. You don't reveal your strategy unless you're not concerned about it working moving forward. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
He's like, it's an open secret. You guys can all see what we're doing, and we're going to keep doing it. We are going to keep attacking James Harden, and we're playing this game because we recognize a vulnerability in this team, one specific player, and we have a guy in Jalen Brunson that we know can smother him, can attack him, can disrupt him, and it worked in dramatic fashion last night. And now with the Knicks having all the momentum in the world and having proof of concept, Mike Brown's not afraid to say it out loud because they're going to keep doing it and probably have success with it.
Smalls, the fascinating thing about all of it is, in order for the Cavs to get out of this series and get to the NBA Finals, they had to approach this matchup with the same game plan to attack the defensive liability of the New York Knicks. And the defensive liability is Jalen Brunson. Mm-hmm. Now, credit to Mike Brown for being able to find a creative way to try to shield Brunson from that by blitzing Donovan Mitchell, by blitzing James Harden, by throwing double teams at those guys every time they ran a pick and roll at him. But if you're Kenny Atkinson, you got to find a way to hold serve. You got to find a way to do the same thing. Otherwise, it's going to be more of what we saw late in the game yesterday. You might as well put the fourth quarter and overtime of game one on a loop. And that's what makes game two fascinating. I usually don't say this because the road team, the expectation is that, they're ice skating uphill when it comes to series in the championship rounds. But based on how they lost game one, game two is a must-win for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Mm-hmm. There is no question about it in my mind. It's going to be hard for this team to get off the mat after that loss. And I heard Stephen A. Smith on SportsCenter last night, and he likened this collapse by the Cavs to what the Knicks did in game one against the Pacers last year in the conference finals. And we knew that it was going to be hard for the Knicks to be able to recover after Tyrese Halliburton cut their hearts out. I don't know how the Cavs get off the mat after a loss like that. And then seeing the comments from owner Dan Gilbert about blowing a 22-point lead, trust me, everybody in that locker room feels that. Everybody on that coaching staff feels that. That is an embarrassing loss for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't know if they're the Cavs or the Browns because they soiled themselves on the MSG court last night.
Ooh.
Why do you have to switch everything? Why is he in the game, number one, he being Harden, with a 22-point lead?
Because it didn't affect them the first three quarters.
But they played again. You pointed it out a million times. I'm going to just reiterate what you have said to the audience. He played defense against a different unit. When Landry Shamet is in there, who is literally in there to drain threes, which he did.
When the last time you remember Landry Shamet hitting a big shot this postseason?
I understand, but it doesn't matter. You're going up against a different team, in essence.
I agree with you, Ev. I agree with you, and you got to make that adjustment as a coach. The minute Landry Shamet makes that three, I think with 6.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, the minute he makes that three, you got to figure out what the hell we doing.
Up 21, missed free throw by Harden. Up 20, Mobley charge. Down 20, Shamet 3. That's one of the ones you're talking about. Yeah. Shamet also had a 3 to tie the game at 99 apiece.
Oh, yeah, the bing bong. Yeah, that 3 that rattled around from the corner. That was a great. But again, if you're Kenny Atkinson, you got to see the way the game is going. You got to feel the heartbeat of the game and know that you got to do something different than you did the first 3.5 quarters.
That's the point. So Kenny, let's get back to that in a second. Kenny Atkinson, the head coach of the Cavs, had this to say about whether or not he considered taking James Harden out of the game when the Knicks made it very clear. If he's in, we're going at him every damn play.
No, listen, he's been one of our best defenders in these playoffs. I trust him. Smart, great hands. Didn't think about that. James was good most of the game. Listen, we weren't great defensively in the fourth quarter, and like I said, the ball stuck a little bit too much that was a key.
If James Harden is one of your best defenders, you have zero shot of winning a championship. Let's just be clear. If you're going to come out and say, with a team that has Evan Mobley, who's been a defensive player of the year, Jared Allen, who's a 7-footer, you have Max Strus, who I'm not saying is Dennis Rodman, but he can play defense a little bit. You have Dennis Schroeder, you have Keon Ellis, you have all these guys. If you're telling me that James Harden's one of your best defenders, you have no shot of winning a championship. None whatsoever.
Well, what didn't help is that your top 3 players, your top 3 scorers, went a combined 3 of 13 in the fourth quarter.
Well, okay, let's go there. So there's 2 parts.
It's easier to play defense off of a made basket than it is off of a miss.
Of course, because it's slower, right? I mean, unless you're secondary break with Dean Smith.
But that's the point, though, Ev. Like, that's the point. Like, they were a house of fire in the third quarter.
The thing that drives me nuts if I'm the Cavs right now, if I'm a Cavs fan, okay, a couple things. One, no adjustments with James Harden. Either take him out of the game, which is not an insult. James, awesome job. We're up 22. You're good. Thank you. Great job. You got us here. This is why we traded for you. We're about to win on the road at Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals against an awesome Knicks team. Thank you, right? We'll see you Game 2. Right? We got all these defenders. That's number 1. Number 2, if you're going to keep him in the game and they're going to attack him every time, you got to alter the defense. You do not have to switch every single play. I don't understand why we don't realize that. Growing up playing basketball, CC, I'm sure your coach told you to switch at times and don't switch at other times.
No, we never switched.
Okay, that's the point. You're allowed to play over the screen, especially up 22. Right?
Our coach said play through the screen.
Okay. Yeah, go Kobe, Pau Gasol in the Olympics when he runs him over.
Play through the screen.
That's right. Okay, good point. That's another thing. You want to slow down the game? You want to alter the momentum? That's exactly what you should do. Knock someone on their toes.
Knock them down.
Yeah.
Knock someone down. Don't hurt people.
Hard foul.
Get physical.
Hard foul. No, you want to hurt them, don't injure them.
Okay, you want to
hurt them, don't injure them. Yeah.
Smalls, it's you know what? These guys are hitting 3 straight home runs at me. I'm going to brush them back. I'm going to hit them if I have to.
Just like Wemby boloed Alex Caruso
That's right.
in the second half of Game 1 in the West.
Seriously, though.
Do the same thing when they run that ball screen for Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
Do something. Fight back a little.
You up by 22 points. You got fouls to give. Run through it.
That's right.
Run through it.
The next thing is, what were they so great at on offense to start the game against Detroit in Game 7? Donovan Mitchell, ball distribution.
Yes.
Okay, so if your offense is going nowhere, Kenny Atkinson is saying the ball is sticking and they're just having, James Harden at one point had a step back air ball 3. Well, set up the offense where Donovan Mitchell is basically going to be Magic Johnson and say, Donovan, draw everyone, dump it off to Allen and Mobley on the blocks, and play the offense that got you going in Game 7 against Detroit. They didn't do any of that. It's, oh my God, the Knicks are coming back. Here we have a Hall of Famer in Harden. Do something. Here we have a maybe Hall of Famer in Donovan Mitchell. No. Run a 3-man weave. Like, literally do something old school. You got to do something to change this. They just kept doing the same thing over and over and over again. I understand that no one is ready to say that they are done and that this series is over, but I completely agree with Cece. If the Knicks win Game 2, it is extra over. Now it just feels over.
It'll be a gentleman's sweep if the Knicks win Game 2.
I don't understand how you come back. How do you come back from this?
I don't know.
How do you come back from this?
I don't know, but here's the thing. You know the team that doesn't get the benefit of the doubt? The team that has James Harden as a top 2 player.
Oh, and as a lead defender now, too.
Exactly. The sports character of the Cleveland Cavs? Give me a break.
What are we doing here?
Thank you, Andy.
I don't trust this team.
No.
I don't trust them from a mentality standpoint to be able to get off the mat after such a deflating loss. And now we start to talk about the stakes because getting to the Final Four is a huge accomplishment for that organization. Last time they did that without LeBron James, got to go back to 1992. So credit where credit is due. But when you have an opportunity to take Game 1 in the conference finals after the other team was off 9 days, the other team starts the game only making 2 of their first 21 three-pointers. If you start that game and you have a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter, less than 8 minutes to go, and you can't close it out, that is an indictment on everything involved, starting with the head coach. And you asked me the question, Ev, about why Kenny Atkinson said what he said post-game. Why didn't he take more of the blame for what happened? And you responded, you answered your own question, with saying, Kenny Atkinson is probably concerned that he'll lose his job.
I think he's Mike Budenholzer with the Bucks in 21.
So based on
won the championship, but hot seat every round.
Based on what you said and the comments from owner Dan Gilbert following that loss, we could be talking about Kenny Atkinson coaching for his job in this series.
Exactly right. Exactly right. All right, a lot more to do on this, obviously. There was also a huge move where they